Hey.
So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Combat Talk episode 2. Before we start our episode today, I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed, liked, commented, followed on Instagram, followed on Twitter. We just want to say thank you guys so much for your support, and shout out to you guys, and just keep doing what you're doing. So starting off the show today, we're going to talk about last week's fight night, and we're probably going to start off with one of my favorite fighters. According to him, he's the best fighter who never won a title. Gustafsson versus Werdum. You want to start off with that fight?
That was surprising.
Both of us said Gus is going to win that by knockout, and then...
I mean, Gus was a 3-1 favorite on the betting odds. I mean, he looked great. You know, when he at weigh-ins, he looked thick. You know, he looked like a real heavyweight, weighing in at 240. I honestly thought he looked bigger than Werdum. What did you think?
I thought Gus was going to win the fight, especially when it started. Gus was keeping distance well, boxing well, and I thought, Werdum's definitely going to get the knockout today. But then all of a sudden, Werdum just level changed and just went for the submission. I think he started off with, he tried to go for the rear naked choke actually, right? And after that, he switched to an armbar, and I thought, wow, I thought maybe Gus was going to get out of it, but yeah, it didn't happen.
From the heavyweight division in the UFC, I mean, Werdum has to be the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner of all time. He did that same exact move to Walt Harris, you know, in the first round and got the armbar submission. I mean, he's up there for most submissions in the heavyweight division. It was really shocking to see. I'll be honest, I lost a lot of money off that, but it's okay. You know,
wait, how much did you put in that?
Oh, I put like $80 on Gus. I know, that's groceries for like 2 weeks, man.
Mate, Werdum was just... I honestly thought it would probably go to at least the third round before we actually got a winner. Just because I think both of them are like highly experienced fighters. They've been fighting for a long time in the UFC. And to top it off, Gus has had a long break. So I thought he'd come in rejuvenated and he'd probably have a lot more energy than Werdum. As well as Werdum, he's also old right now. So he's getting near to the end of his career. So I thought, yeah, we'd probably get like a slow start. But yeah, I saw him going for the takedown and submissions just because that's his specialty, but I didn't see it ending that quickly.
Well, you know that was the last fight on Werdum's contract with the UFC.
Oh,
I don't know if they're, I don't know now because that was a big win for him, if they're going to re-sign him or if that was going to be his last fight in the UFC. I mean, Bellator, another organization, will sign him. I doubt it's his last fight, but I know that was his last fight with the UFC.
I don't know. I think maybe it would have been his last fight if he had lost. But now that he won, I think he's going to probably win another fight. And he could also demand a bigger fighter than Gus as well, since nobody really expected him to beat Gus. So I think we'll see him sign a new contract, maybe like a 3-fight contract, like something short, just because he's already like old and he's nearing retirement. But yeah, I was impressed. I was very impressed.
Yeah,
so what do you think is actually next now for Gus, who literally, it was his first fight at heavyweight, and now he lost. So now he just looks even worse.
I think honestly, I like Gus a lot. I think when in his peak, in his prime, like I said, he was the best fighter to never win a title. I think you know, he was done at light heavyweight. He knew he was done at light heavyweight. Heavyweight was his new rejuvenation, and it didn't happen. Werdum's a big name, but Werdum isn't a top tier heavyweight anymore. I think Gus is done. I think Gus. I don't think.
You think he's gonna retire?
I think he's gonna retire for good this time. Yeah, I think he did that. I think he's done. I think the heavyweight, that was like a test. He didn't have to cut weight. He got to eat what he wanted. You know, he got to go out there, have fun. But I think he's done for good this time.
Damn. Personally, I wouldn't want to see Gus go out like that, especially not during Fight Island. Probably one of the most historical moments in like UFC history and sports history right now. I just don't think it's a good way to go out for him. I hope to God and pray that he gets another fight, at least.
I mean, he probably could if he wanted to, but but most of the
like
greats go out.
Just something to redeem himself. Like that's not a good way to go out.
But most of them do. I mean, look at Michael Bisping. He went out over a first round KO against Gastelum and retired. Sometimes you just, just follow time gets you. You go out when you don't want to.
I guess, man. But all right. So last week, another big fight that we had was Whittaker versus Till.
I was so excited for that fight.
Initially, I had said I'm going for Whittaker.
I did say Till.
I felt like he was probably the more experienced fighter. He had already won a belt before. I think he had faced tougher opposition than Darren Till, and I just thought going into the fight, he's got a point to prove, especially after getting knocked out by Adesanya. I thought, yeah, and I was actually right by that.
No,
He
you're
won.
right. You're right. No, I mean,
And,
it was a close fight. I think it was 2-2 going into the fifth, and I think Whitaker won fair and square, no robbery. I mean, it was a close fight. I don't think it was a complete domination on either side whatsoever. I mean, Till looked good in the beginning, and then Whitaker came back and finished strong. It was a great fight. Till with his knee. I mean, second round he got the MCL tear. I think that.
Oh, was it then? Was it confirmed?
Confirmed. Second
Oh,
round.
I actually had no idea.
Second round MCL tear was the oblique kicks that he used on Stephen Thompson. That Darren Till used Stephen Thompson and tore his knee up. That's what Whitaker did to Till. His MCL is completely torn. He's gonna be in a cast for 6 weeks. So.
Yeah, I remember actually like talking to you about that during the fight, like during the round, when one of the commentators actually said it. I'm not sure which commentator, but he said it like really softly, and he was like, "Yeah, if you're back at home, I think Darren Till actually hurt his leg." But obviously, because there's no fans, I think the fighters can actually hear the commentators talking. So we tried to keep it on the low,
Which was really cool.
I mean,
that was really cool.
Yeah, so that the opposition wouldn't be able to hear that and take advantage of it.
Well, because Whitaker actually in the post-fight interview had no idea that he hurt Darren's knee. They asked him, "Did you have any idea that you hurt his knee?" He said, "I had no idea."
I mean, if he said it loud enough,
he probably would have known he would target the knee even more. Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool.
I actually heard Darren Till during the sit down, like in between rounds. He was talking to his coach about how he couldn't balance properly and he couldn't actually get his shots off well because of his leg. And I was surprised because even after that, and you could obviously see that his leg, he was struggling with his knee or whatever. Initially I thought it was his leg, but yeah, it's his knee. And you could see he was struggling, but it kind of looked like Robert Whitaker went the opposite way around and kind of started kicking him less. I was actually shocked about that. I thought, he's probably going to see he's not like balanced well. So,
he still
got the W. So
yeah, I mean, overall, what did you think of the fight? Just overall,
I just thought we may see a comeback from Whitaker because everyone was against him, bro. To be honest, everyone was against him. Everyone I asked said Whitaker's gonna lose. Darren Till, he's coming for the belt. He's gonna fight Adesanya next. He's looking good. He's out here making jokes on Instagram, talking about. Yeah, you remember even when he made that whole joke about getting the quarantine fat and how he's pregnant, and we all know how Whitaker's always training, he's always in tip-top shape. So I guess that also helped him because he looked really good. None of them looked tired, but I felt like towards the end, if the fight were to go another round, I would have still given it to Whitaker.
Yeah, I think they both look great, but overall I think it was a great fight. But I mean, Whitaker, I think you're going to see Whitaker, they're going to have to give him one more fight before he fights for the belt. I don't think they're going to give him Adesanya or maybe if Costa wins and they don't do a rematch, maybe they do Whitaker-Costa. But if Adesanya wins, I think you're going to see Hermanson-Whitaker and the winner of that. Before Adesanya. And then the winner of that will fight Adesanya because it's no matter who wins, Hermanson or Whitaker, like if Whitaker wins, he's on a 2-fight win streak, Hermanson's hot. Rematch, he's better. If Hermanson wins, he just beat Whitaker, just beat Till, he's the best, and it's a new bait for Adesanya. So I think that's the route they're gonna go. Till, I have.
What do you think's next for him?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be out for a while. And I think it really depends on how the middleweight landscape looks. Because if he comes back, 8 months, 10 months, a year from now, the middleweight division could look so much different. Yeah, Costa could be champion. You have no idea. So. I don't know, but I think it'll be a top 10 guy, not a top 5 guy.
Yeah, because I thought that Darren Till's stock right now in the UFC is pretty high. He's got a lot of fans.
Big name.
He's a big name. He's got the cool accent. He's got the jokes. He's got the build. He's got the power. We've heard even Jorge Masvidal talk about how he's probably the hardest puncher he's ever faced. So we've heard a lot and we've seen a lot from Till. And I really, really thought, he's probably going to be like a big star, but after this loss, I don't know where he goes after this. I mean, I saw him talk about how, he's still going to fight Adesanya and like he's still a top fighter. But the only way you can say that is if you back it up. And right now, that loss is really holding him back.
I mean, the Whitaker fight was a way bigger fight for Till than I think it was for Whitaker. I mean, because if Till won that fight, 100% he was getting a title shot.
Yeah.
But Whitaker wasn't guaranteed. Where Till 100% he was gonna fight for the title if he beat Whitaker. I mean, it was a really big push for him. I mean, it was a really big push for him. So, I'm excited to see what Till looks like when he comes back. I think we're going to be waiting probably around a year between the injury and all the kind of the MCL tear. That's a long injury. But I mean, we'll see what's next.
Personally, I don't see Till fighting for the title anytime soon.
No. Hopefully
and
not.
honestly, if Adesanya loses to Costa, I see them giving Adesanya a rematch.
Probably because he's the. I agree.
I don't see them like letting Adesanya go like that as well, just because he's also a huge star and he's a good champion. He's got a really good record right now, and I think they would give him another shot at the title. So I think we're probably gonna wait to see another champion like for a while before Whittaker or Till actually fight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, if Costa beats Adesanya, I think they'll do a rematch, especially if the fight's a crazy fight. But if Adesanya beats Costa, then I think they're gonna feed him the winner of Whittaker or Hermanson. But also we'll see how Shabazyan does. I mean, if Shabazyan wins this weekend, that's also big. I mean, the middleweight division's looking really good right now.
Talking about upcoming fighters, Khamzat Chimaev.
Oh,
what do you think of that
dude?
guy?
I'm such a fan. Dude, the guy's a beast. Have you seen his interviews when Brett Okamoto was asking him, who are you? And he literally just goes, I'm the wolf, brother. You know how crazy that is?
Bro, trust me, I can't believe the stuff he's done so far.
2 weight classes.
That's like the first time in history, right? That's
2 weight classes in 10 days, won both, 168 strikes to 2 in both fights combined. And one of the fights, the guy didn't get a single strike in, and he beat him all in the first round. Well, one fight was the second round, the other fight was the first round. I mean, the total domination. That
just tells you about how big of a gas tank he has. If he can do that in such a short space of time,
he's a monster.
And still be able to throw so many strikes, I feel like he's definitely one to look out for in the future.
Dana White already said they're putting him on the 252 card, the trilogy with DC and Miocic. He's going to be on that card.
Did he say he's going to fight yet?
Not yet, but he said he's going to put him on that card. And
I would really like to see some more of him because honestly, I'm impressed by what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I want to see what he. I mean, like I said, he a lot of hype behind him right now. People are calling him the Khabib 2.0, which obviously we're nowhere even near close to that yet. We've only seen him fight 2 guys, burst on the scene.
Yeah, Khabib 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, that's pushing it. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to fall for all the hype right now, but I'm very excited to see him again and see if he could really keep up this hype train of his.
All right, so moving on to Khabib, actually. You just mentioned him. We all know how big of a star he is in Russia, Dagestan, the whole world. Everyone knows his record, still undefeated. And everyone actually heard about how his dad passed away recently.
Unfortunately.
And how he's possibly looking to retire, according to his manager. And Dana.
Yeah, he has his father's wishes for him to go 30-0. He's 28-0. He has the Gaethje fight, which is confirmed for October 24th for 254.
That should be a good fight.
That was going to be a great fight. Which, assuming Khabib wins, we can't assume, but assuming Khabib wins, he has 1 fight left, and he said that he would like GSP in April, and Dana White says he is now more open to the idea, because originally, when GSP went up to middleweight to fight Bisping and won and became the 2-weight champion, the agreement was that he would defend it at least once. Well, 9 days later, GSP said no, gave the title back, vacated, and ditched it, and then made Whittaker the undisputed champ. So he openly said, I wanted to go down to 155, fight Khabib. If I win, I'm vacating. So Dana was against it. But now if Khabib's going to retire anyway, you're going to have a vacated title either way. So now he's more open to the super fight.
Because I've been reading up about it, and I've heard that apparently GSP has said that he doesn't want to fight Khabib, and that he feels good about not fighting anymore. So I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I know that Dana has specifically said, I would do anything for Khabib because he's done so much for the company. So I'm assuming that if maybe the two can meet up and have a meeting and talk money, I think you'd probably see that fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it, just because GSP's been out for so long. And also I feel like another fight that could be on the cards is Khabib and McGregor. A rematch that a lot of people want to see.
Well, I think no one wants to see that rematch more than Dana in the UFC. Dana even said today about Conor, because Conor's been tweeting I accept in Filipino and in English. And he talked to Ariel earlier today, and they said, who are you saying I accept to? Because they thought it was Khamzat, and McGregor said, no, that's not it. And he wouldn't say who it was. So Dana said, well, Conor's retired right now, but Conor's still ranked number 4 in the lightweight division.
Conor's not retired.
And we all know he's not retired. But Dana said, oh, Conor's retired right now, but we're going to see how things play out October 24th. Which means if Khabib wins, or pretty much mean Conor's going to get the winner regardless, because that's just beyond money. So personally, I think Dana's full of shit when he says he's going to do the GSP Khabib fight. I think the Conor Khabib fight is the number 1 priority right now. But it would still be cool to see, because honestly, I think if you see Khabib and Conor fight again, it's going to be the same outcome as before.
Another thing that I actually want to mention is that I feel like Conor constantly retiring and coming out of retirement, I feel like it creates a better story, it creates a better narrative, and it draws in a bigger crowd for him every time he comes back. Yeah, I'm coming out of retirement again.
Yeah, but I feel like that's for casuals. That's for casuals.
For McGregor, it's all about the show.
Yeah, because he's retired 3 times in 4 years. That's like
it's unrealistic.
It's not real. He's just, anytime the UFC won't play ball with him or he doesn't get what he wants, I'm retiring and walks
Plus,
away.
the whole retiring on Twitter thing.
Plus,
does that even count as a real retirement?
Plus, when you're worth $250 million, I mean, you don't really give a shit.
To be fair.
Yeah,
so honestly, I want to see a Khabib-Conor rematch over GSP Khabib. Just because I feel like the 2 fight styles, Khabib and GSP, yeah, I mean, I'll still watch it just because both of them are amazing fighters and they're both legends in the UFC. But I feel like it would be a boring fight. It would probably just be on the ground and we'd probably see them try to out-grapple, try to out-wrestle each other for most of the fight. And it would probably just go to decision anyway. So I feel like stylistically, McGregor and Khabib are really, really entertaining.
Well, also, I mean...
Plus, McGregor's going to be looking for that revenge.
Well, also, I mean, that rematch is going to sell more than any other fight right now, unless it was Unless Masvidal, McGregor, Khabib... McGregor is going to sell more than any other fight possible.
I mean, if everyone knows that Khabib's retiring, I think that fight sells bigger than anything.
Well, also, because if Khabib beats Conor twice, Conor probably doesn't fight again either. So it's probably the last fight for both of them.
Yeah, so
especially if Khabib wins.
I think that easily becomes like a record-breaking fight.
Oh, easily. Regardless of the situation, them 2 fighting again is a record-breaking fight.
All right. So I also want to actually talk about the main event coming up this weekend. On the main card, we have Brunson versus Edman. And I actually want your thoughts on that fight because I feel like, yeah, I mean, the card isn't stacked as we've seen like in recent weeks. But I still feel like it's going to be an entertaining card, especially because of Edman. I feel like he's on the come up, 11-0. He's really looking good. And everyone right now is like watching him. And I feel like Brunson is going to be a real test for him. I don't think he's actually fought someone better than Brunson yet. So, yeah, I want your opinion on that.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Edman. You know, when he was 14, 15, he was training with Ronda Rousey. He's 22 right now. He's on track to be, he said he wanted to be the youngest champion. He beat John Jones' record. So, with a couple more wins, he could beat the record, but that's a lot of hype. I'm not going to go there. But I'm just saying he's 22, huge fan, headlining his first card. He's 11-0. 10 of his 11 fights have come from first round finish, either submission or TKO KO.
Yeah.
And no disrespect, but his strength of resume, it's not there. Where Brunson, on the other hand, win or lose, I think Derek Brunson, as far as the middleweights go, probably has the strongest resume in the entire division. I mean, he's fought Whitaker, Adesanya. I mean,
he's actually fought a lot.
He's fought in like the top of the mountain, and Brunson, you know, yeah, he's not in title contention right now, but he's no walk in the park, and I think he's a sleeper pick this weekend. Personally, I bet on him. I think Edman, I think he's good.
You bet on him?
I did bet on Brunson, yes.
Do you want to tell everyone how much or not really? You want to keep it to yourself? You can tell them after it happens or not?
Okay, how about this? We'll wait till the next podcast, and if I win, I'll tell them how much I won, and if I lost, I'll tell them how much I lost.
Okay, fair enough.
But let's put it this way. If Brunson wins, we're going to be eating really good at back to school.
All right. So to end off our show, I just want to tell everyone that we've decided to start a new segment, and it's going to be really interesting, really entertaining. So this is how it goes. Basically, me and him have to choose the top 3 fighters out of the main card of every event. We're going to choose who wins and how. So this is how this point scoring system is going to work. Whoever wins the fight and gets the fighter right gets 1 point, right? And then if you can tell us who won the fight and how he won the fight or she won the fight, that's an extra 2 points. And so we're gonna do the top 3 fights on every card, and then whoever loses the actual, I guess, battle is gonna have to do a challenge. So for next episode, whoever loses this challenge, so we're gonna do the card this weekend, right? UFC Fight Night, and whoever loses is gonna do the cinnamon challenge, and they're gonna have to do it on Combat Talk. And if it happens that we tie, then both of us have to do it. So I'm sure that everybody's gonna probably be hoping for us to tie like every weekend, just so that you guys can both see us do some dumb shit. But pretty much, yeah, that's the new segment of our show. So I'm excited about it. So to start off, Nick.
So the first fight, because we're taking the top 3 fights of the main card for every fight, is Vicente Luque versus Randy Brown at welterweight. I'm gonna go with Luque by decision, and Musa.
I'm gonna go with Randy Brown, and I'm gonna have to say TKO.
By TKO.
So yeah.
Okay, for the co-main, we have Joanne Calderwood versus Jennifer Maia, number 1 contenders fight. Because Calderwood was supposed to fight Shevchenko for the title, but
can I go first this time?
Of course you can, but Shevchenko's not available, so Calderwood was like, I'm gonna fight anyway. So whoever wins this is probably gonna fight next for the title. So really exciting fight. Who are you taking?
So I've got Joanne Calderwood by decision. Who do you have?
As boring as this is, I also agree.
Wow. Okay.
Joanne Calderwood by decision.
It's looking like it's gonna be a tie, actually.
I don't know, man. So, main event, I think we disagree.
Okay, main event, I'll let you go first. Who you got, Brunson or Edmond?
Alright, I'm going to take the underdog on this one and root for my betting boy, Derek Brunson, and I'm going to go by KO or TKO.
So obviously you know what I have. I'm going with the killer, the wolf, Stone Cold Killer, knockout, Edmond. Easy. It's an easy win for me. I know everybody's going to probably agree with my choices.
So you're going Shabazyan by KO TKO?
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
Early.
Early. How early?
I just think
how early?
Probably the second. Max.
Second?
Latest.
Wow,
Second
you're going for the hype train right now?
Yeah, I think he's just got a chip on his shoulder, man. And I don't think he's going to buckle under pressure.
What, you think Brunson's just a journeyman right now?
I think Brunson...
He's the gatekeeper?
Yeah, I don't see him winning this fight.
Okay.
And I feel like if Edmond can win this fight, it's looking real good for him. It's looking real good.
I mean, if Edmond wins this fight, I say he has one more fight and then he'll fight for the title. They could sell the whole youngest possible champion of all time. Yeah, no, for sure. I agree.
So yeah, that's the competition, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Combat Talk. Obviously, please keep commenting, please keep liking, please keep subscribing. We're gonna keep giving you guys content, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode where you're gonna see one of us, maybe even 2 of us, do the cinnamon challenge. I hope everyone's excited for that, and just keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to you guys for the support. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers.